Okay, man, I'm just gonna start recording. I think I've been trying to overproduce this for a minute, and it'll kind of be crazy if I'm the one putting in more effort than it seems like Liverpool is these days. Could be the case, could not. Anyways, there are a few things that I wanted to chat about. The first thing that's on my mind is whether or not Arne Slot should stay or go. And I have a few reasons why I think he should actually stay. I'm not trying to be a contrarian or just say it just to say it, but I see it all the time, especially in American sports. And I want to avoid the same thing when it comes to Liverpool. Second thing I want to talk about is the transfer window. I don't know who the hell we're supposed to bring in at the moment. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of chatter, but sometimes Liverpool works that way, and I'm hoping that they will surprise us. I have a few people in mind, but again, it's just speculation. Then third, go over a few news articles and some headlines. So first, when it comes to Arne Slot and Arne Slot being in or out, I, for the most part, am Arne Slot in. And I say this because I'm in favor of stability at the moment rather than get rid of Arne Slot and bring someone else in and hope that they magically fix it, because it's not like you take one manager or coach and then it's just they show up to practice and improve things. You think about their coaching style, getting to know the players, what type of practice schedule they like, whether or not they have to move, and what that means for their family, um, where they're at in their life and their career. Who is a viable alternative at the moment other than Xabi Alonso? Let's say we're saying this as with the idea that Xabi Alonso is not available right now. So not only what does it come with the stability of the team that I'm concerned about when we have no stability, I think that taking Arne Slot out of the equation right now would just further push us into chaos. And right now, if our goal is ultimately to just stay in the top four, I don't know how we do that without bringing in a Jurgen Klopp type of savior. And maybe Xabi Alonso is that person, maybe not. But again, let's say Xabi Alonso is not on the table at the moment. For that reason, I am Arne Slot in. Maybe he can turn it around. I don't think it's 100% his fault. The team was gutted. We don't have any defenders. We're one defensive defender injury. Konate, I mean, Joe Gomez, I love him. I think he's the X factor this year. If he is healthy and able to play that right back position with Konate also healthy and playing next to Verge, I think we are in a really, really, really good place. Our best games have come with that combination. But Joe Gomez, I love him, man. He's just made out of paper. You know, I there was the big injury, uh, 5, 6 years, 7 years ago, and he's just never recovered from it. He's become either fragile, his body, or I don't know if it's mental. Like, these guys are elite, but they're human as well. We need someone else. We need consistency. Um, when it comes to Konate, I don't think he's going to resign it, and it's going to be a hard relationship to repair because he already checked out mentally as soon as he thought Real Madrid wanted him, and that is a bad sign. It shows maybe a little bit of a lack of maturity, and from what I was reading on the Real Madrid side, his inability to stay focused 100% of the time, leading to big mess ups, was one of the primary reasons that they backed out, as well as the wage demands. They didn't think that his wage demands matched his consistency. And I tend to agree. If there's a big reconciliation and maybe a new manager comes in and Konate can kind of clean up that aspect of his game, maybe there's a little bit of room for reconciliation. But yeah, when it comes to Arne Slot, he's dealt with a lot of injuries this season. Let's talk about Giovanni Leone right at the beginning with the ACL tear. Joe Gomez sidelined every other week. Uh, Alexander Alexander Isak and Bradley were already happened while we were in crisis, so I don't know if they count, but it's still an issue. Endo was out for a long time, and while he is not a core player, it is important that we have rotation. And yeah, Wirtz took a little bit of time to get in a groove. Same thing with Kirkes. So it's not 100% Arne Slot's fault, but there is something tactically going wrong with the team, and that's a conversation for another day. But at the moment, say Xabi Alonso is not available, I'm Arne Slot in because I don't know what type of instability will be created by his departure. If Xabi Alonso is available and this is a stabilizing move and preparation for next season and just trying to get into the top four best position, best finish that we can this season, not expecting another championship, cool. But yeah, let's not pretend that nothing happened over the summer that hindered Arne Slot's ability to be successful this year. I also forgot to mention Luis Diaz, Trent, uh, Darwin. While Darwin, they're all big players. Darwin underperformed and like a semi bust when it comes to his Liverpool career, but these were key players that were all of a sudden gone. You don't replace them and their quality and their type of contribution immediately. You have injuries, you have new players who are still adapting, and high expectations. It's kind of a perfect storm, and we didn't bring in, you know, and the defender we did bring in got hurt right away, so that's difficult to kind of overcome. All right, I also want to talk about some of these news articles. Um, how does our schedule compare to some of the other teams? I haven't read this article yet, but let's see. Okay, so our next 5 matches: Newcastle, Man City, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, West Ham. None of these look like a guaranteed win at the moment. The Newcastle kind of feels like a loss. Man City feels like a loss. Sunderland feels like a should be a win, but maybe a tie. And then, perhaps a tie or loss with the last two. I don't know. I don't see any guaranteed wins, even with Sunderland. Chelsea, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley, Arsenal. It could go either way. I think you're looking at a win. Sorry, yeah, a win, a win for the first three. Burnley. I'm saying a draw, and then a loss to Arsenal. And then for Manchester United, I don't know. They're all over the place. You never know what you're getting with them. It's kind of like Liverpool. You don't know whether you're getting a draw or a loss. With Man United, you never know if you're getting a win or a loss. And I'm seeing all of these except for maybe Everton going Manchester's way via draw or loss. Next one. So I don't see a world where we can get rid of Andy Robertson. We're already in a squad depth crisis. He's our co-captain, right? Uh, he's only 32. His performances, I think, have been good. Uh, Perhaps they want to. They're trying to invest in Milos Kirkus, and that's why he's been getting those starting minutes. Milos hasn't been necessarily amazing, and I don't think he's deserved his starts over Robertson, but he needs time to adapt. Happened. Sad. Heart goes out to him. What else? Other Liverpool news. Reminder during Arsenal defeating Man United. Manuel Akanji, he's not in Man City right now. He's what, Italy? Is he in Italy? Yeah, he's Alona Inter Milan would be an ideal acquisition. I would be on board with Manuel Akanji joining Liverpool. I mean, he decent on the ball, Premier League tested and ready. The one thing that I have against him is during an intro of Manchester City, uh, a match where they were introducing their players. They gave their players nicknames, and when it came to Manuel Kanji, apparently he's one of these math savants that can do it, crazy additions, subtractions, multiplications, divisions, long form in his head, instantly. So they introduced him as the human calculator, and that has got to be the least intimidating nickname for a defender ever given. Even Lissandro Martinez has a better nickname. They call him something Butcher, Butcher, Little Butcher. I don't know. But Emmanuel Kanji acquisition would be nice. So we're kind of leaning into our transfers now. And I think the last transfer speculation target is Nico Slaughterbeck, uh, valued between 47, 50 million. They didn't pull the trigger for 20 million from Margehi yet. So I do not see how you could justify the 47 to 50 for Nico Slaughterbeck, and he's slower. Don't I, I don't know how good he is on the ball. I've seen like fairly good amount of him, but I don't know if he's an on the ball player. Harvey Elliott back in Aston Villa squad. He's handed a lifeline. I mean, he hasn't played for Aston Villa since September 28th. Jeez. I think that they should come to an agreement that they do not have to buy Harvey Elliott, even if he reaches the playing time. That way he can get freely used by Unai Emery without the pressure. They don't want to buy him, so take that clause out, nullify that clause, and let them either use him or you bring him back. I don't see the only 10 appearances. They'd have to pay 35 million if you reach 10 appearances. 10 appearances is not enough to make that decision, and I think that is a mistake on Liverpool's management part. 10 appearances, I think you need at least 20. At least 20 to really get a sense of whether that player is going to be a good fit. Look, so Elliott's return to the matchday squad suggests Villa and Liverpool may have revised their agreement, but his return may also be down to Villa's mounting injury crisis with John McGinn, Boubacar Mara, and Ross Barkley all ruled out of Sunday's game. So it's by necessity, not necessarily because they want to. He's only 22. I remember when he started getting minutes, he was 17. but 22 still really young. So we can, I don't know. I think we kind of have enough midfielders at the moment. We need someone else. All right, let's look at one more. I'm curious about this one. Liverpool agreement already reached as Trent Alexander told to find a new club. He's already being linked with move away from Real Madrid, with reports in Spain claiming former Liverpool star has been told he needs to leave in the summer. It didn't look like it was working out, but will they give him enough time? Who knows? New coach. Wow. New coach Alvaro Arbeloa has told Trent he's not a part of the future plans. So what comes next? Yes, we know he left. Hasn't been going good for us. We're missing him. Creativity, not there. Reds have felt his absence. I agree. A return to the Premier League is touted, with Liverpool inevitably discussed as a possible landing spot, although the reception he got upon his return to Anfield a couple months ago would suggest supporters aren't missing him as much as his former teammates are. Uh, we're definitely missing him. It the one thing that rubs me the wrong way was when he was introduced at Real Madrid, how he talked about he stated that he had been learning Spanish for like 6 months already, or a couple months, and that indicates that he was never really intending to re-sign with Liverpool, because we knew that Real Madrid wanted him. We knew that they would be able to get him on a free. I don't know. Maybe he was just being like extra prepared, but it did rub the wrong way. It didn't seem like he actually wanted to stay and was kind of wasting the club's time. All right, that's it. Those are my thoughts. That's some news. Until next time.